You never know when it's gonna go south. You never know when you was on the job, no matter what job you is on, that things gonna turn around and just not be in your favor out here. This baby say, I remember seeing a boot to my face, a boot to my face. We have done some arresting out here in these doggone street. These people don't follow their own understanding, especially a mama. Here we go.
A woman attacked outside of a pizza place in Gwinnett County.
They gonna hit me with a doggone commercial real quick. Thank y'all for being around here. I am Willie Williams. We finna get right back to the show. Here we go. Right here.
Outside of a pizza place in Gwinnett County is telling us about a scary experience.
The last thing I remember seeing is literally a boot to my face.
Channel 2 Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Matt Johnson found out what happened in the days and moments before that attack.
The 17-year-old victim told me that this wild story all started here at this Little Caesar. She says a coworker was upset with her during the lunch rush. Then police say that coworker worked with his mother to orchestrate an attack that left that girl unconscious.
I'm thankful that I'm alive.
A teenager beaten unconscious inside of a Little Caesars, kicked in the face after she says she stood up to a coworker during a lunch rush.
And then he pulled out his gun and aimed it at me. And immediately my hands went up.
She asked not to be identified for safety reasons and says Javaris Landers threatened to get his family involved in January, and weeks later, police say he did.
He said that he was going to get his brothers and sisters on me.
Police say his sister, his girlfriend, and his juvenile brother burst through a back door on March 2nd. Investigators say they punched, stomped, and stole the victim's phone, while his mother, Jasmine Landers, coached them by phone.
I could hear Jasmine saying, "It's the Hispanic, the one without glasses."
She says she hit the panic button at the location on Centerville Highway. Police say they attacked her until she got a concussion.
And the last thing I remember seeing is literally a boot to my face.
When police searched the family's home, they found guns, fentanyl, dog feces, and a starving dog. Since our report last week, Jasmine Landers and her son are now facing new felony charges related to the attack. The victim quit her job after the attack and says she's relieved her injuries weren't worse.
That's what really scared us, and especially my mom.
According to jail records, all the suspects remain in jail without bond. In Gwinnett County, Matt Johnson, Channel.
They ain't get him no bond. Listen, shout out to the good mama. Shout out to Jasmine. Now, damn it. Her children name is the same as hers now. I kind of doubt if she's hadn't got married, and that's why they got her same last name out here in these streets. So she might be a little single mama. And mama, you should have been talking to your daughter with the little shit on the front of her damn face, looking like a damn fool. Now, I don't know if she wore glasses or something like that right there, but the glasses have been too tight, and it's just been sitting right up under here too much. You got to learn how to take that stuff off, put some Mercurochrome or something on there right there, put some Ambi on that thing to get the skin complexion thing back rocking. So he don't know how to handle his business. He out here dealing with one of these little young hoes who out here probably running her goddamn mouth, because you really do got to think about it for a player to go ahead on and call his kinfolk, to call his sister, his little law, and then his mama around there, and his little brother, to come on around there and jump on a teenager, a teenage female. She must have been running her damn mouth. See, but now she trying to play the little innocent role as if she ain't do nothing. Huh?
I'm thankful that I'm alive.
A teenager
That teenager with that little slick ass mouth, I promise you she had a slick mouth.
Unconscious inside of a Little Caesars, kicked in the face after she says she stood up to a coworker during a lunch rush.
Oh, she stood up to a coworker in the lunch room. So you stood up to a man and listen, running her damn mouth. Mm-hmm. He probably said something that you didn't like, and you wanted to bounce back and show that you're strong out here in these streets, and forgetting that you was a female, and forgetting that Willie Williams had done told y'all these young players is not raised the way I came up to, where we don't put our hands on women. They don't believe in that shit. They will whoop y'all at, and then call their member to come on around there and jump on you too.
And then he pulled out his gun and aimed.
He pulled out his gun. You talking to a player who got a gun at Little Caesars. You stood up to a coworker who pulled out a gun on you in Little Caesars. I can't take you serious.
Did at me. And immediately.
Hold on. Let me back it up. He pulled his gun and pointed at you.
Lunch rush.
And then he pulled out his gun and aimed it at me. And immediately my hands went up.
She asked not to be identified for.
Immediately her hands went up. I can believe that right there. But the one thing that she would not say, my hands went up and I was still talking shit. I promise you that she didn't get quiet.
For safety reasons, and says Javaris Landers threatened to get his family involved.
Try to play out for having tattoo on his neck. I ain't saying people tattoos on their necks are bad people. you want to pull him out, he got a tattoo on his neck. And then you got to think about this right here. So he pulled the gun out on her on the job. She put her hands up, and guess what she had done did? Stayed at work.
In January and weeks.
Oh, she pulled a gun out on him in January. Or he put it out on her in January.
She asked not to be identified for safety reasons and says Javaris Landers threatened to get his family involved in January. And weeks later, police say he did.
He said that he was going to get his brothers and sisters on me.
Police say.
So he did that. Some weeks later said that he finna get somebody for you, and you did that thing called didn't believe a man's threats. You stayed working. But until you done got your a boot to your doggone face, you done got jumped on by some people, and now you quit. So this kind of tell me that when you was being threatened and the gun was pulled on you, guess what you should have did? Quit.
His sister, his girlfriend, and
another question: when he pulled a gun on you, did you call the police on the day that he pulled a gun on you, or is you saying that he pulled a gun on you the same day that you got jumped on?
His juvenile brother burst through a back door on March 2nd. Investigators say they punched, stomped, and stole the victim's phone, while his mother, Jasmine Landers, coached them by phone.
I could hear.
Oh, the mama was on the phone, and they done locked the mama up, and she wasn't even around there. Player, you done got everybody in trouble.
Jasmine.
You should have just slapped 5 little bitches. You know what I'm saying? If players, if you gonna put, I know how y'all be saying, you should never put your hands on a girl. I got it. He pulled 5 on that bitch. If you gonna pull 5 on a female, that's already a felony. Why not slap 5 ass? I don't understand. The gun is worse than the slap. I promise you it is.
Saying it's the Hispanic, the one without glasses.
She says she hit the panic button at the location on Centerville Highway. Police say they attacked her until she got a concussion.
I wonder, did you hit the panic button when he pulled the gun on? When he pulled a gun on you and you put your hands up?
And the last thing I remember seeing is literally a boot to my face.
When police searched the family's home, they found guns, fentanyl, dog feces, and a starving dog.
They out here doing the most.
Since our report last week, Jasmine Landers and her son are now facing new felony charges related to the attack.
Shout out to the good mama. Shout out to the good mama for coaching, for directing and guiding her son husband. You know, it be like that right there sometimes. Sometimes we do be needing guidance out here in these doggone streets, and now all y'all in trouble. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out all the good mamas out here in these streets, man. What would you have done? What would you have done as a good mother? What would you have done as a player working at Long John Silver's with a gun on you with a tattoo on your neck? Would you have pulled your gun out on a female? Or would you slap that down for running her mouth? Huh? I'm just saying, because the saying is you're not supposed to put your hands on a female. Let's just say that I agree, which I don't. But let's just say that I do agree. You will come out better legally for open-handing a baby than pulling that fire on the baby, and or getting your kinfolk to come on around there. Now we all got a damn charge with no bond. Just saying, decisions. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out of here, man.